Hello and welcome back to the Note. It's been a very quiet Friday here in Wall Street. The S&P 500 extremely unusually managed to close unchanged to 2 decimal places. However, there was a little bit more activity going on under the surface. If we take a look at this chart, you can see that Microsoft and Alphabet, the company that now controls Google, both had really dreadful days today. They produced their earnings after the bell on Thursday. The actual earnings themselves were perfectly good. The market didn't like the detail on what was expected from revenues, and so you can see quite a sharp punishment for both of those stocks. At the end of last year, they were both part of what was known as the Nifty 9 stocks that were really leading the market. Plainly, the market has now lost that leadership. There are 2 ways you can look at this. One is that the market is now rather healthier. It's more balanced, less reliant on overvalued tech companies, and those valuations for the tech companies are more realistic. There's something to that. The other argument to make is that in a week when most companies have, as you might have expected, beaten the rather low earnings expectations for them, when the oil price has been much stronger than expected, which has really helped energy companies and in general boosted a sense that it's safe to be risk on. It's quite surprising that the S&P has not done much better than it has. Now, for next week, we have another slew of results from US companies. It's the second big week of the US earnings season, and we will also be hearing from the Federal Reserve and the Bank of Japan. The Federal Reserve, all we can say is that if there is any surprise at all, it will be a very big one. According to the Fed Funds Futures Market, there is a 98% chance that the Fed does not move rates next week. The Fed also does not hold a press conference. It would be very surprising if there was any really significant move from the Fed to report next week. The Bank of Japan, however, is a very different story. The yen has weakened sharply today. The Nikkei has been gaining for quite a few days, and that is because there is new speculation afoot that the Bank of Japan will find something to do to weaken its currency. Bear in mind that the last time it tried to do something along those lines back in January, it backfired spectacularly, but plainly it is reasonable to think that the Bank of Japan should be ready to take some form of action, and that's probably going to be the big event for next week. What exactly is going to be big in Japan?